Probably heard Charlie Kirk was assassinated at one of his events. I first saw it happen online,
What's in the
obviously,
nuts?
and I literally couldn't do anything else for the next 3 hours, just refreshing the page every 2 seconds for 3 hours until eventually the news came in that he passed away. Bro was a 31-year-old man who fought for America, who fought for God, and who is currently with the best of our ancestors. He was politically assassinated, and this is war. It's a nightmare
He was
situation. It's the
assassinated.
worst thing that I think
Any term used for that situation other than assassination is just incorrect.
I've ever seen online. I've never seen something like this in my lifetime. This is probably honestly, the biggest turning point for the USA. It's a real nightmare. It absolutely.
The biggest turning point? Sorry, that's
Absolutely is. And with the harshest words, obviously,
turning
this
point is the
damn it,
nonprofit organization that Charlie Kirk ran.
and obviously that is not what most of the libtards have been doing. So, dude was a martyr for God. He fought for his beliefs, and he was politically assassinated for them on the battlefield. So, anyway, this was Charlie Kirk's last tweet. America will never be the same. He was more right than he even imagined. Truly heartbreaking. I am absolutely destroyed over this. I didn't know him personally.
Jeez.
I messaged him.
Yeah, I didn't know he had family there when that happened. DP was talking about that video. I have not watched it. I don't really want to. I've seen enough of my shit in my time. I don't go looking for it.
Twitter a couple of times. But I didn't know him personally, but I am absolutely destroyed.
Holy shit.
So
Him the Tat Man is on Twitter. I didn't even know that guy was still streaming.
I prepped some things for this video because I feel
Holy
like
shit, he's at like 20K on there too. He's popping the fuck off.
Moment to pass the torch to the next generation and remember him for being a very special person in America and in American history. So this is a tweet that he made a couple of months ago saying assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. 55% say the same about Donald Trump. And I mean, he was right.
Wow. I didn't know about this tweet. The fact that he tweeted this 2 months ago is kind of crazy. Well, April, but still. That's fucking yikes. The left is being whipped into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or just losing a court case, just justifies a maximally violent response. This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. And then he got assassinated 3 months later. Like,
tried to kill Trump twice. They firebombed Elon Musk's
twice that we shit. It's not even twice that we know of. It's like 4 times that we know of now, right? Like
shit. And they actually assassinated him. Because remember, everyone that votes for Trump is a Nazi, and what do you do to Nazis? Well, yeah. So turns out he was correct. He was completely right. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Mangione, a murderer, allegedly.
What?
The left is being whipped into a violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or losing a court case, justifies a maximally violent response. True. Every time something happens that the left doesn't like, violence is the answer. Even having an open conversation in a school. This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture, tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. Supporting all forms of terrorism. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. And it just exploded today.
I mean, this is what I was talking about with Asmongold. Like, left has just gotten like so far fucking crazy that people like Asmongold are seen as far right. But nah, it's like He would be a Democrat 10 years ago, 12 years ago. It's just that left has got so far fucking crazy that right has ended up in the middle. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
They think they saw Nazis. They are creating Nazis. So Trump tweets, and this is actually what broke the news, the official news. The great
we pulled this up
Charlie
yesterday.
Kirk
The
is
tweet.
dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he's no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife Erica and family. Charlie, we love you.
Yeah, just it's a horrific situation. I didn't know his daughter was there. Wouldn't it happen?
The reality is, Charlie Kirk was instrumental in getting Donald Trump elected the second time.
Fucking horrify her for the rest of her life.
People don't realize how actually massive of a voice and force he was. He actually brought these discussions into the mainstream to an unbelievable way. People don't realize how much of an impact he had on America forever. He is one of the most pivotal figures in American history. He truly was. And I mean, South Park knew that, obviously. And so does Donald Trump. In honor of Charlie Kirk, a truly great American patriot, I'm ordering all American flags throughout the United States lowered to half-mast until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. He was really on the front lines of culture.
Cool.
Look, man, here I am behind my animated avatar, making videos online for fun, trying my best to fight for justice. This dude put his body on the line, and he took a bullet for the country. He really did, and he's a hero for it. Elon Musk tweets, "The left is the party of murder," and he's immediately proven correct by basically every single pundit on the left. Of course, everyone is talking about this.
Apparently I saw that I did see that quote where he did say that it's worth the cost of to have some gun deaths every year so that we can have the Second Amendment. I agree with that. I mean, and I think he still would agree to that point even now. It sucks what happened, but at the end of the day, the meanings of his speech should be carried forward, right?
It's an actual nightmare.
Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. For those that are just hearing this right now, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at his event in Utah. And it's absolutely one of the most horrific things. We have this report from CNN. I was awaiting official confirmation. The first thing I want to say is Charlie is an absolute legend, and he was a good friend. I'm not going to pretend like we hung out this guy. I hung out this guy, knew him better than, my homies or whatever. But I just want to say, man, I've done a lot in business and in media. Charlie is a king. He was always super good to us.
The reality is everyone only had good things to say about him. It's insane. Everyone that actually knew him only had good things to say about him. You could disagree with his policies. He'll say that abortion is murder, and now the left thinks that that's a reason to kill him or whatever. But no one that actually knew this guy felt like he was a bad guy. He was a man that fought on the front lines for God and for America. He really did.
It was just very weird.
He did podcasts with leftists.
That he's
Bill
the one
Maher,
that got targeted.
Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Right?
I am curious what exactly it was that uniquely got him targeted.
Okay, he was the last guy talking, bro. The rest of the people don't want a dialogue. He was truly something else, and every single person.
They're reporting that Charlie has died, that he's dead at the age of 31.
I can't watch, so I'm not going to show you reactions of people's sympathies because people don't want a dialogue. He was truly something else, and every single person.
They're reporting that Charlie has died, that he's dead at the age of 30.
Else, and every single person.
They're reporting that Charlie has died, that he's dead.
Is this AI?
Truly something else, and every single person.
They're reporting that Charlie has died, that he's dead at the age of 31.
I can't watch, so I'm not going to show you reaction.
That actually looks like AI.
At the age of 31.
I can't watch, so I'm not going to show you reactions of people's sympathies because you could check that out themselves. But what I am going to show you is the media because they're evil. So
hey, what's up, Johnny? How you doing?
A couple of weeks ago,
welcome
in
in.
media on MSNBC, And then I'm going to show you the other stuff.
The permission structure for violence. You've got polls about political violence. Democrats don't think it's a good idea. Only Republicans. Only people inclined to consume conservative media are now, I think, upward of 50% say that if necessary, violence is okay. You've only got the conduct on one of the two sides. The permissions.
Yeah, the violence is only on one of the two sides. I agree. Yeah, and it's definitely on the right, guys? Right? I mean, if you look at political violence, it is definitely only on one side. Yeah, and everyone could feel themselves getting radicalized in real time because this is absolutely unacceptable. Like, unconscionably evil. Obama makes a retard tweet. We don't know yet what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. Really? Why would you start your tweet like that? Why? What are we even doing? Like, are you insane? Please. You mean the people that call him Hitler every fucking day on the media? Literally, he was called a Nazi on CNN yesterday. I'll show you that clip. Like, you really don't understand what the possible motivation could have been? Dude, get the fuck out of here. So Tim Waltz, of course. Now this is the time where everyone makes believe they have souls.
I mean, everyone
start making believe they can't.
What's my stance on what? I mean, it's pretty. I don't want to like grasp and say any particular direct reasoning, specifically why this guy was targeted. I'm curious myself what it was that he said because he had a lot of political opinions. So my curiosity is what it was in particular that invoked this assassin's ire. But yeah, what do you mean? What's my stance?
Care so much about Charlie Kirk and how they condone and how they're so against political violence. An open forum for political dialogue and disagreement was upended by a horrific act of targeted violence in America. We don't
be any and all of his views.
No, of course not, says Tim Waltz. Anyway, also Tim Waltz said this a week ago.
Morning, and you doom scroll through things, and
you're right, but at the same, trying to look at it from I try and think of it as like a realistic perspective. There's got to be something in particular that motivated the gunman, and I don't think it could be something as simple as like, well, he runs the what the fuck, he runs the nonprofit organization Turning Point. Maybe that's why, because he's the leader of that organization. Or if it was something that he, particularly that he said, or like, I don't know, it's just tough. I just feel like that there is usually a specific thing. It's not just, oh, well, he's a, political speaker that has X, Y, and Z opinions. It's like, he has, I don't know. I guess I can't get into the head of a shooter very well. He's angered many populations of people. Yeah. I mean, any public political speaker like this does, right? Like, because they just have very polarizing opinions. So yeah, I just think it's usually a particular opinion that causes these sorts of things to happen.
Although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news.
This is in regards to the whole rumors from like a week ago that said Donald Trump was dead, right? The Donald Trump dead rumors. This was his reaction. Every day I hope there's news.
Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
Well, there was news today, okay? There was news today, you piece of shit. All right? So, in my opinion, the far left really is a terrorist organization at this point. They're inciting violence every fucking turn they possibly can. And it's more and more and more of them. So this is Pritzker. He's the governor of Illinois. Libtard, obviously. So what do you think he blames his death on? Because everyone needs an excuse. Why was this man killed? Well, let's see.
My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it.
Yeah, who knows?
I know they seem to have somebody in custody. But
it ended up not being the right guy. But yes, no, who knows? Who knows what could have happened? Political violence. Maybe it was random. Maybe it was random that some guy with a fucking sniper rifle shot him in the neck at a school. Maybe it was just a coincidence, right? At one of his political, open discussions. Who knows?
I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country.
I agree.
We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen
done by a far left freak.
political violence occur in other states, and I would just say,
Like burning Teslas, does that count? What about bombing police cars in L.A.? Does that count?
it's got to stop. And I
He's
think
right.
there
It
are
does got to stop.
people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it.
It's Trump's fault that Charlie Kirk was shot.
We've seen the January 6th.
January 6th. That's right. 5 years ago,
How the
January
fuck
6th.
did we get back-
That's why Charlie Kirk was shot. Because of a protest at the Capitol building, January 6th, 5 years ago.
Rioters who clearly, have tripped a new era.
Well, I do think that date
Violence.
certainly
Absolutely.
radicalized a
new
lot
era
of people.
Political violence. Obviously, it's always on the right. That's why you have leftist politicians getting shot, right? Oh, no, you don't, actually. Right, you don't. Of course, it's Trump's fault that Charlie Kirk was shot. Absolutely. No other way to possibly look at this. Let's see MSNBC's coverage. I'm sure they have humanity.
Because
I'm, by the way, I'm making it clear. I'm holding all these fucking people accountable. All right, pay attention to how they speak and how they propagandize the minds of the people. You all have blood on your hands. Absolute fucking degenerates.
because as we were just talking about a moment ago with Alan, after one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as
Was attacked, not allegedly attacked. A couple of youths of nebulous ethnic
Is she
backgrounds.
really-
employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C.
Why would she say allegedly attacked? It was public, like it was. Everybody knew that Big Balls got attacked, right? And his picture, like after getting his shit kicked in, was all over the news everywhere. It's obvious that. No, whatever.
D.C. That's what Donald Trump used as
Was attacked, not allegedly attacked. A
Yeah.
couple of youths of nebulous
Yeah,
ethnic
youths.
background beat the shit out of him.
justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and the federal troops lowered the crime rate by 50%.
To get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
Oh no, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I'd hate to see how Trump uses this for something.
I must admit, I'm at a loss to guess as to what happens next. But
Yeah. Oopsie poopsie, Charlie Kirk shot. Anyway, hope Trump doesn't use this for something. You know he will. Trump bad after all. Damn, imagine having human emotions, right? This is the party of empathy. Look at all the empathy. Anyway, let's see what else MSNBC had to say. It gets worse.
We're showing, by the way, our affiliate in Utah and the aftermath of the shooting. You could see people running away pretty quickly, as you would imagine they would do at gunshots. The FBI director, Kash Patel, has weighed in on this. He just tweeted the following.
I see
"We're
some
closely
people
monitoring
running.
reports
A
of
lot
the
of people
tragic
just like,
shooting
huh?
involving Charlie Kirk
What was
at
that?
Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected.
Not their prayers, right? They've already made that clear when there was a shooting at a church. They don't believe in prayers, but their thoughts are there. So that's good.
Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and the investigation. Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure,
Oh, there was a shooting at the thing. Charlie Kirk got shot. He was a divisive figure.
polarizing,
Polarizing.
rod, whatever term you want to use.
A lightning rod. Charlie Kirk was a lightning rod polarizing guy. Got shot. Oh well.
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast. He opines on almost everything. He's been very closely aligned with the president since his initial run for office in 2015, 2016. And his ties to Trump really elevated his own brand. He was really quite young as an activist when the president launched his initial campaign.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Wasn't
say
polarizing
that tie is probably what caused this. Then I would say, yeah, if he's been shown a lot of favoritism from the president, and he's got a daily yeah, I'd say that's probably what this is, what caused this shit.
These people all need to be fired. We need to literally overhaul this entire fucking country.
Because they can't
When you
get
see
to
stuff
Trump.
Like this, it makes you realize we are at war. They like telling you that you're not at war. They like telling you that there isn't a war going on, but there is. I do believe there's a spiritual.
You doubt that? You doubt what? That it's his ties to Donald Trump that caused this?
war, and I believe there's a fucking real-life physical war. There is, without even a shadow of a doubt. Oh, give me a break. You're telling me that we're not at war when you literally have these fucking companies
His views and what he
incentivizing
preaches?
and condoning and borderline saying, well, it was inevitable that this was going to happen. He was actually fucking divisive after all.
You gotta do some errands. Catch you later. All right. I'll see you later, Z.
crazy, dude. No, Charlie Kirk did change me as a person. Okay, I'll be real. I used to make videos. I didn't really talk about my opinions on God.
It does
and
align
stuff
with
like
Trump,
that.
but
I really
you don't
didn't.
think it's
I didn't
for the
want to mix it with my
affiliation?
type of content. I felt like that's not really.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand. I understand what you're saying. I do. I just know, like I said, we've seen so many. I mean, it's just like far left in general, like obviously, but it's like we've seen so many attempts on Trump, and then people that are aligned directly with Trump but public get assassinated. It's to me it's
My audience, it's not really what I wanted to talk about. And Charlie Kirk talks about God. Talked about God a lot. And I'll be real, he kind of made me feel like, you know what? I don't give a shit who thinks that it's cringe if I'm going to say I believe in God. And I love God, and I try to serve him to the best of my ability. I don't care if people think it's cringe. I'm going to talk about it. And he changed me for that. He really did. He really did. The media gets worse.
That then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place. And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA is confirmed.
What the actual fuck did I just hear? I'm telling you, I pulled all these up because these people all need to be held accountable. This video needs to be immortalized. Holy shit! You can't stop with these awful thoughts and you say awful words. You don't expect to get murdered in a campus? One more time.
Actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
You said that abortion is murder and then you don't expect to literally get murdered in the street? Cringe! Cringe! These people are fucking heathens. Holy fuck, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
That's
what
that's
are we
pretty bad.
doing? Oh my lord. Having an opinion in America that the Democrats disagree with? You're just asking to get shot in the neck. What? Actually appalling evil shit. Don't worry, it gets worse. Don't worry.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration or so.
Yeah, we don't know.
Did that motherfucker just say that shit? Did he actually just say that shit? Hold no. What the fuck are we doing? What did he? What?
This happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration or.
My brain just broke. What the fuck? Who? What? Of course it's not that. Who the fuck thinks it's that? Oh yeah, we were just popping some shots off in celebration, because it's fucking the 1800s or whatever, right? Like what?
Yeah, we don't know. It's very likely that Charlie Kirk was pinpoint assassinated by a rifle from hundreds of meters away by a fan shooting the gun off in celebration. Because don't you know, Charlie Kirk is right wing. So all the gun kooks are shooting him in celebration. It might have been his supporter. It was probably a right wing guy that did it.
Oh yeah, it was a gun supporter. Yeah, they were just firing shots off at him. Yeah, absolutely. That makes of course
happening. The response is Congressman Pat Harrigan. Are you fucking kidding? He was shot in cold blood with a rifle from the distance. I'm actually destroyed over this. I am
it's too
destroyed.
funny.
You don't understand. You don't.
I have to
understand.
laugh because
you
it's
don't
so
understand
like
how
infuriating.
brutalized I feel because of this
What the
situation.
fuck?
Like we lost a genuine hero, a good fucking man, a man that fought for America and fought for God and fought for his family, and we lost him because of a fucking freak. And the media is like, and this is what's consumed. Dude, the radicalization is coming. It really is. And they earned it. Holy fuck. Hassan, of course, gets involved immediately. He made a couple of tweets. America is an insanely violent nation. Yes, this is it's all of America. Absolutely. Charlie Kirk's shooting is the 46th school shooting this year. It's just another school shooting, guys. It's just another school shooting. It's not political police. It's just a school shooting. Who knows? Who knows how that could have happened? Of course, the other libtards also had things of equal empathy to say. We'll be back to Hassan in a minute.
Why wouldn't you just say like, whatever? He's just got to push the narrative, I guess. That's just crazy that he wouldn't just fucking like thoughts and prayers, you know? What the fuck, dude? Like, oh, it's the 47th school shooting. Come on, man. What the fuck?
One shot. Yep.
All right. What do you think conservative response to this will be? It's going to be the exact same response that it always is. It's going to be...
All right, so this is the Destiny take.
Blaming the left. It's going to be a call for more aggressive rhetoric towards the left. It's going to be a call for the left to condemn or disavow or whatever the fuck. Anybody on the left that does any sort of disavow, whatever bullshit, I think is cucked and weak.
If you disavow assassinating Charlie Kirk, you're cucked and weak. He can't even disavow it. He can't even say that, yeah, we shouldn't be assassinating right-wing people. He can't even say that.
So Newsom doing it earlier. No, at some point, if I hear any mainstream conservative say we need to bring the temperature down, then I'll start taking it seriously. But until then, nah, fuck that. I don't think same thing I said. I didn't
actually see Charlie.
Holy fuck, dude! It's crazy. It's crazy to see this happening. Like where are the humanity of these people? I don't understand. Look, man, I fully want the temperature to be turned down. I also want criminals to be in jail, and I also want, peace. I also want
I recently watched. Oh, sorry, stretch posture check. I recently watched Destiny watching the content cop or whatever about him and having him talk about and getting, debunking a lot of the things that are in that content cop. And it did make me feel like I'd unfairly judged Destiny based off of what, seeing those clips out of context and those clips being really my only introduction to Destiny largely. I don't really follow him at all. But, I watched him showing the actual, where the root of the clips came from that had been clip champed out of context and all that shit. And I was like, you know what, this guy actually seems, now that I've seen the context behind these clips, I actually agree with some of the things that he's saying. And, maybe I've been unfair in my judgment. And then I saw this, and that's all completely out the window. So, there it is.
A lot of things. There are many things that I want. It's insane to me to have the position that you shouldn't condemn the assassination of a just good guy with a family that has opinions.
This is the problem right now with politics. Why can't people on the left just say that it was bad, that that this guy got assassinated, and like what disavowal of the Charlie Kirk shooting is cucked and weak? Huh?
You disagree with. Now, of course, it's the entire fucking ecosystem of far left freaks, right? So Hassan's talking about how it's a school shooting. Vosh, the horse lolicon enjoyer, retweets it. And we get Destiny says, "Who's gonna do it? Ho-ho! Born Charlie Kirk in the who's gonna do? Who's gonna edit the Wikipedia? Who's gonna edit the This was before he was confirmed dead, by the way. People in my chat are saying right now that they just caught the guy that killed him. So again, is this what we call stochastic terrorism? Right? These are people that are kind of subtly endorsing it. Notice no condemnation by Hassan, no condemnation by Destiny. No, they're not even condemning it. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
And as far as political violence goes, look no further than
like that's the whole thing right now. Is like it's seen as weakness to acknowledge that the guy being fucking assassinated was wrong. Like these basic fundamental principle, this basic basic human level principle of killing, that none of them are acknowledging that it was bad.
This fucking freak himself. Like, what are we doing?
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
Like, when we have people like Hassan that directly says, kill Rick Scott, a senator of the United States, he directly says this to his audience of millions. This person should not have a platform on the internet. This is an incitement of violence and a crime. And we clearly cannot deal with this. I'm sorry. I don't believe in censorship. I don't want people to get censored. This isn't censorship. This is literal criminal activity. He should be deported too. Fuck deplatformed. He should be deported. He should be denaturalized. He's a communist fuck that is going against...
Yeah, I mean... basically, Hassan has just been trying to up the ante on what he can do that should get him banned, that hasn't gotten him banned. Over and over again, he's been like upping the like doubling, tripling down, like over the last, what, 4 or 5 months now? He's been definitely like way up in the ante anyhow, with like where he was waving the gun around on stream, and he's been like regularly doxing people. Who knows what the fuck's next? Maybe we'll have a freaking dick slip or something, you know? But he's just been like, it's crazy the shit that he's allowed to get away with. It really is.
Every possible basic American value. It is legal to do this, by the way. I'm not asking for any new laws. I don't want any new laws. We have laws in place that we can denaturalize and deport communists. And he is one. He admits he is one. What a fucking nightmare. So when you have people that say this shit, do you really think it's not going to happen? Like, come on, dude. Like, who's the retard here? Like, what are we talking about? This was Hassan Piker on Nick Fuentes, by the way, yesterday, September 9th, literally yesterday.
Here we go again.
No, we gotta, you know, the moment is clear. You gotta sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You gotta get one of those like Haz al Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive. You know, let him fight. Whatever the fuck his name is. What is it? The Albanian dude.
So anyway, I could go back in time for as long as you want. I could show you a million clips of him calling to violence. This was him yesterday, calling to kill Nick Fuentes. Now, I want to make this, I don't like Nick Fuentes. I don't know Nick Fuentes. I don't like Nick Fuentes. All right? I don't know him. I don't really have that strong of an opinion, to be honest. All right? But compared to Charlie Kirk, he's a fucking radical guy. Charlie Kirk is a pretty moderate fellow. All right? And he's literally telling his audience to kill him. Now, it's irrelevant what your opinion is on any of these people. This is fucking insane. I don't really have an opinion on Nick Fuentes, to be honest. I really don't. I never talked to him. And I never watched his streams, like, in full.
Same.
So I don't have, like, some sort of actual opinion. But he is definitely more radical, and based on the clips that I've seen, than any...
The only, like, recent clips that I've seen of Nick Fuentes has been, where he got called, what was it, a little gay kid in his mom's basement, and he popped off about that. That his pop-off clip, like, that was pretty good.
Anyone else. Like, what the fuck? Nick Fuentes said he wants a holy war against the Jews, okay? And I think that Hassan should be deported for this. See, Nick Fuentes, the radical far-right guy, this is what he had to say about Charlie Kirk. And by the way, Nick Fuentes hates Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. So Nick Fuentes hates...
This is this is what a response should look like for somebody that fucking hates Charlie Kirk. The normal human being response for somebody that hates Charlie Kirk and his opinions. This is horrific. Pray for his family. So this shit has to stop. That's it.
him because Nick Fuentes doesn't like Jews. This feels like a nightmare. One of the most horrific things I've ever seen. I feel absolutely gutted and devastated. Pray for Charlie Kirk's soul, his young family, and our country. The violence and hatred has to stop. Our country needs Christ now more than ever. This is a man with humanity. I would take a man that believes in God and fights for our country every fucking day over these stochastic terrorist asshole communist fucks. Over these.
I love this. This is like a great, just a great description. Charlie is a mainstream, is a mainstream family values conservative. He was not any kind of radical. He was like the Ned Flanders of the right, and they blew his neck open in front of the whole world.
And fights for our country every fucking day over these stochastic terrorist asshole communist fucks. Every fucking day. I don't care that this motherfucker wants to kill me in a holy war, okay? I don't care. I do not care. I will take him 1,000 times over these godless heathen retards. Unbelievable. Like, actually fucking unbelievable. So, of course, you know who contributes to the rhetoric. Like, this is aside from Hassan making hundreds of videos about Charlie Kirk calling him a Nazi. He tweets himself. Quote tweets Charlie Kirk. Oh my God, Charlie Kirk says shifting demographic. It's Nazi rhetoric. Nazi rhetoric. So when you do this constantly, do you really wonder why this actually happens? Like, come on, dude. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, says the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject political violence in every form. And he's right, obviously.
The top response to this: you breed this kind of thing, fucking jackass. Fuck you, piece of shit. Your fear mongering and propaganda causes this shit. Blood is on your hands. No more funny memes today from your office account. This is what happens when you brainwash your base into thinking he's a literal Nazi, you fucking idiot.
But his words are cute. His actions are another thing. He constantly says that Trump is some fascist dictator stealing the country and we need to fight back. So, realistically, it's empty fucking words. It's empty words, bro. Your words mean fucking nothing. Nothing. He supported the violent riots in California. He traded in working fire hydrants for genders. He traded them in. He had more operating genders in California than fire hydrants when there were fires. And of course donut operator's right. Of course he is. Of course he is. There's no other way to understand this. Check out everyone's favorite blacktivist. Charlie Kirk refused to let George Floyd rest in peace. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to mourn him? I will show him the same respect he showed George Floyd. How could you even compare this, man? How could you even compare? George Floyd, again, I don't want that. I'm not happy that that guy died. I'm not. But he was a criminal that held a pregnant lady up at gunpoint, that was resisting arrest, that died of an overdose. Like, how do you even possibly compare the two? And also, let's not forget, you burnt the fucking country down for that motherfucker. Currently, South Park is getting a lot of backlash for parodying Charlie Kirk in their latest season. Now, to be clear, I think that...
What? That is the highest honor. Are you kidding me? Being made fun of in South Park is a fucking honor. What? Do they not understand? No.
That they don't deserve backlash for this, per se. Because...
Yeah, Yeah, of course. Yeah, the first response is that Kirk expressed that he found the portrayal of him really funny. Of course, like it's like a legacy. Yeah, getting added into South Park means you've kind of made it in life. The fact that he was a big enough deal to, warrant being made fun of in South Park, like, yeah, that's, you're part of the zeitgeist, you're part of the history of the world now. Like, you're part of South Park. It's like people just not understanding that like they get all blown up about South Park making fun of people. And it's like, no, dude, if you respond properly to South Park, incorporating you, it's all positive.
Again, they parodied. They didn't incite any violence. I do think the media, the politicians, the Hassan Pikers of the world absolutely need repercussions. But I don't think that that this one thing should get backlash for this specifically. You could hate South Park for going woke. You could hate South Park for criticizing Trump and not criticizing Biden, whatever. These are all valid criticisms. But saying that his blood is on their hands is insane. The reason
it wasn't funny to make fun of. Well, did they really not make fun of Biden? I feel like it's different with Biden. Like, people were already making fun of him.
Why I'm bringing this up is because it just goes to show how influential Charlie Kirk actually is. The fact that that he was the one conservative voice that actually showed up on South Park. It just, it goes to show how obviously influential he was. And Charlie Kirk also found it very funny. They're so mad I'm not mad that I found South Park funny.
Yeah, he even changed his avatar to the South Park version of him for a while.
I made a video on that. Charlie Kirk was such a goat the way he handled that whole thing. This guy, wow, holy fuck, dude. I'm destroyed. The leftists keep lefting. What was done to Charlie Kirk has been done to countless Palestinians. No, it wasn't. Charlie Kirk didn't start a war and then lose and then use human shields. He was politically assassinated for having opinions that somebody else didn't like. So, I mean, obviously, why are you sad about Charlie Kirk when Palestine happened? Wow, Palestine is happening. The chickens came home to roost. There's literally a genocide. Destiny says, I want to hear a single large political figure on the right say we need to bring down temperature on all sides before anyone on the left says we disavow violence is bad. It's Trump's fault. This is the world Trump is building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what Trump's doing. Trump did it. Trump killed Charlie Kirk, according to Destiny. Of course, yes, sir. This is what
The first response, nope, you don't get off that easy. This video is from the end of December. You've been in support of assassinating Trump supporters for over 8 months. This is on you and the rest of the left. Yup.
Trump's doing. Trump did it. Trump killed Charlie Kirk, according to Destiny. Of course, this is I think such a great example. So this is a leftoid cringe Twitter account. It literally breaks my heart to see this guy. Like you don't know how this makes me feel, or you do. I'm destroyed over this. I've never ever felt this way on like with somebody that I knew online. Never. Like it's a nightmare. So of course this is leftoid retard number 4000 saying I condemn this and hope he's okay. But the irony is no, he doesn't. He's just saying the things he feels like he has to say. No, you don't. Fuck you, Evan. The same guy tweets. There's a certain thing that should happen in regards to assassinating Trump. Like literally fuck this shit, man. Like dude, what are we doing? This is an actual terrorist party. AOC, always here to make a statement. The scourge of gun violence must end. Obviously, the shooting at Charlie Kirk is the latest incidence of gun violence. It's just another gun violence, guys. No place for gun violence. It's obviously just a gun violence in a gun-free zone. It's obviously a gun violence. It's totally not the fact that she was calling people Nazis and fascists and saying you need to fight back against them any way that you can. It probably has nothing to do with that. It's probably the guns. No one even shot the guns. The gun shot itself, actually. Asmongold tweeted this, and he's right. Anyone surprised at what happened that Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention? Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc. You'll find thousands of unhinged direct calls to violence over politics. Until it's addressed for what it is, things will continue to happen. And he's obviously correct. Obviously completely correct. And I actually, believe it or not, when I was in the middle of reading this tweet, when he posted it, I was in the middle of reading it, and I got called by my YouTube rep, my YouTube contact. He called me basically to make sure that I wasn't at the Turning Point USA event, and he told me to get a gun because he obviously monitors that there's a lot of death threats towards me as well. So he told me get a gun, don't go to any of these fucking things, and protect yourself. And I was talking to him about it, and I said,
Think about that for a second. His YouTube rep called to make sure he wasn't at the Turning Point USA thing. His YouTube rep told him to get a gun.
I don't like censorship as much as the next guy, but what the fuck is going on where you have all of these nightmare scenarios? You have all of these...
And, I mean, a gun wouldn't have fucking helped Charlie Kirk. He was shot by a rifle from, so he could never have defended himself against that.
Nightmare scenarios
But,
of
yeah, I
political
understand.
violence that constantly happens, and it does. And you have people that are inciting the violence, literally, on these platforms. It's a crime. What are you doing? And he said, yeah, things are going to change. So we'll see what happens, but truly a nightmare. Truly a nightmare. Now, of course, Destiny retweets Hassan, because, Destiny says that you shouldn't condemn killing Trump or Charlie Kirk, but you shouldn't call to violence, because this is an old tweet from Hassan. This is a tweet from a year ago from Hassan, where Tom Cotton basically said, fuck all these protests, and Hassan tweeted out a schematic of a this is the largest leftist political streamer, by the way, schematics of a homemade shotgun that was, by the way, used to assassinate what's his name, the Prime Minister of Japan. It was used to assassinate Shinzo Abe, and he posted the actual schematics for this homemade shotgun to basically obviously kill the politician.
You went to McDonald's again?
Obviously, that's what he's doing. Obviously, there's no.
Did you get more than a Happy Meal this
Look
time?
at this, 7 million views, 150,000 likes. Maybe Charlie Kirk shouldn't have spent years being hateful, demagogue, fascist, and this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he should take personal responsibility. He was assassinated. So, look at her profile. Nice feminist. Right. So, this is what we're dealing with, man. This is literally what we're dealing with. It's
Yes, you got
fucking
paid
insane.
again. Nice.
And there's lots of them.
I
We
took
are
the
at war. Right, so
I took the sub revenue that you paid, and I got Z28 a sub with it. So that's where your sub money went. We got Z sub too.
this is Nyara, someone that likes grooming children, as far as I understand it, saying, surely people on the right will now stop calling for the death of Hassan. I want to make this clear. I don't know a single person on the right that called for the death of Hassan. I heard people saying you should get arrested, people saying you should get deported. I never heard a single guy on the right saying death to Hassan. Not one. I mean, I don't know if I'd shed tears per se.
Yeah, I think he should be deplatformed. I think he should, I don't believe he should be arrested. All that shit's kind of stupid. I do think that there should probably be some charges possibly levied against him for the the public doxing and things like that he's done recently. But other than that, yeah, I don't think anybody really wishes harm on Hassan. We just want him to face the repercussions for the stupid shit that he says all the time, right? And the violent rhetoric, grooming people into terrorists, those things.
But I will admit, I don't want it to happen.
You got paid
I've
again?
Never
Nice.
called for that. No one ever called for that.
You got cheeseburger money. Did you get a daily double? If you didn't get a daily double, you fucked up. The best thing on the menu. It's not even close.
Real consequences, says the motherfucker who supports Hassan, who literally incites violence all the time. So Dean Withers made this tweet saying the violence has to stop. Nobody deserves to be a victim of gun violence, right? It's gun violence. It's crazy. It's crazy that they're all doing this, that they're pushing their fucking agendas now of all times, right? Holy shit. Including Charlie Kirk. This is disgusting, my heart-wrenching. I pray that Charlie makes a full recovery. So, to be clear, Dean Withers does debates constantly where he says prayers are useless, and Christians are cringe, and, all of that. He does these debates where he said God's not real. Like, he does all of those. So, it's ironic that, he's pulling out the pray card now. But what else is ironic is that Dean Withers basically made Charlie Kirk his arch nemesis.
To be fair, an atheist can pray for someone to be alive too. Right, you can there's always this misconception that prayer has to be done to an overarching deity, but the act of praying is just the well wish, like the positive wishes, like the intention of it can be done without believing that there's a deity that's going to do it. You can just be sending wishful intentions, and positive, vibes and such.
And I don't think it's specifically. You're not paying attention to fucking left.
I don't think that's a word you're not allowed to use if you don't believe in
by the way. This dude
in a deity or a god.
Had an entire group that they would literally they called. I'm going to show it to you because you're not even going to believe me. They called it Unfuck America, which was a tour that they would go on. They took it down. They took it down. They took down Unfuck America. But I'll tell you what it was. Unfuck America was literally an entire tour saying taking the fight to Charlie Kirk.
Yep. To be fair, well, okay, so Destiny was heading this up, looks like.
And essentially, it was an entire tour that was designed to gather a whole bunch of radical leftist fucks and follow Charlie Kirk on every single one of his events and follow him around. And they took it down now. They just took it.
I bet they did. An organization specifically about following around Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, kind of unfuck. Yeah, I can imagine why that would be taken down.
This was working an hour ago, taking the fight to Charlie Kirk.
Oh.
And he was assassinated. Now, of course, let's see what the leftists on TikToks are up to.
And there are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking fucking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fanta-Fascist's favorite 5-mile-wide mouthpieces, Charles Chucklefuck Kirk.
And there's millions of them, by the way. And the FBI is going to start monitoring this shit. Mark my words. Everyone was so scared about the FBI monitoring online shit. Oh, holy fuck. Oh, y'all are so fucked right now. Oh, these flaggots are going to get fucking destroyed. Oh, they don't even know what's coming. Because they think that the right is radical right now. This is 125,000 likes. JD Vance said, say a prayer for Charlie Kirk. Good guy, young father. So this guy retweets it saying, a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Ringing a bell. Get it? No silence. Ha ha ha. And this was, he got assassinated. Stephen King, famous.
What a lame fucking tweet, too. Like, what? Oh, he asked for a moment of silence. I'll retweet it with a picture of a bell. Ha ha, fuck you. Like, what? Come on, dude. What the fuck is that?
Famous writer, author guy, and also a fan of really interesting underage people getting fucked.
It's like a middle school
in
tweet.
His book. Also an Epstein defender. The motivation of the man who shot Charlie Kirk isn't clear, although it's probably meant.
Huh? Say that again?
King, famous writer, author guy, and also a fan of really interesting underage people getting fucked in his book. Also an Epstein defender. The motivation.
Really? Stephen King's an Epstein defender? I am not aware. What the fuck happened with Stephen King?
Famous writer, author guy, and also a fan of really interesting underage people getting fucked in his book.
So I never actually knew about all the weird heinous shit that happens in the It book. I never read it. Like I watched the movies and shit, and then like I knew, you know, the premise to it, but yeah, I had no idea about that stuff. I guess he got rightfully called out on the weirdness, and everybody's fucking pissed about that. I didn't know. Yeah.
Also an Epstein defender. The motivation of the man who shot Charlie Kirk isn't clear, although it's probably mentally unstable. That's right, it's just a mentally unstable guy. Nothing we could have done. What is clear? American gun violence. Very.
When we're ready for gutless narcissistic takes from the author that fetishizes teen girl, we'll call you. Yikes.
Cool guy. Very cool. So, and they kept going with these TikToks. There's millions of them.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
This is fucking diabolical. What the? What? Y'all serious? Are these people fucking serious? Like, if you, I feel like if any of my friends, anybody around me acted like this would be the most grievous red flag of my life. Right? Like, who? It's ridiculous. It's like, you know, celebrating death in any situation is ridiculous, but celebrating the death of a guy, you know, this guy in particular, when he was just a political speaker, you know, he just had opinions. It's just crazy.
It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. Like these people are fucking demons. Yeah, we are fighting a spiritual war here because this is insane. Yeah. If you haven't been radicalized before, don't worry, you're in the right place. You will keep getting more radicalized. Brandon Herrera said, "We might have just witnessed the most significant assassination in this country since MLK Jr." And honestly, I think he's right. I really do think he's right. People don't realize what...
I mean, it's working on me. Right? Like, not too long ago, I could give a single shit less about politics. It was not too long ago you would have heard that from me. I do not give a fuck, blah, blah, blah. I do not give a... It's impossible to avoid anymore. It's just become so heinous and grievous and just out there. Like, you can't just ignore this shit anymore. And nobody can. Ignoring the things that are happening around you is basically just assisting this bullshit.
What is happening, and it's horrifying. It's actually fucking horrifying, but it is happening. It is happening in real time. He is right. This is a true nightmare. This is a turning point for USA. It really is. I'm scared for what comes next, but honestly, I'm just so stuck in the now. Charlie Kirk did everything the right way. He encouraged proper debate. He loved his wife, his kids, and God. The left still killed him. It's crazy to think about, but like, it's crazy to think about it. It's insane. It's insane to think about. He is genuinely just really the best of us. Like, he is. And let's see what they're doing on Blue Sky. All right, Blue Sky, Twitter land, because they couldn't stand all the fascists and racists. So let's see what they're saying on Blue Sky. I wish the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk a pleasant day. Oh, wow. Good job. Thoughts and prayers to the bullet. Great news to come out of my state. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm at, I mean, all these posts with one fucking update on them. Like, yeah, okay.
And there's more and more and more of them. They keep doing it. If you're a fascist who is literally responsible for untold numbers of deaths, it's good. Yeah, Charlie Kirk's not responsible for any deaths, actually. Counterpoint, political violence is necessary. Wow, thanks, Blue Sky. The entire country is turning into an authoritarian's wet dream, and we're getting concerned over a Nazi getting shot? Yeah, so, yeah, this is all, it's all coming to a head. We will see.
This is, like, this is exactly the fucking problem. How do they not understand that? You know, when you constantly vilify and you call these people Nazis and things like that, yeah, you're a part of the problem. That and comparing Charlie to a Nazi is just, I hate how overused that word is in general. I think they try to overuse it so it has no meaning. It's certainly gone beyond the point of it's just thrown away around casually now. Anytime that somebody's not seeing anybody, somebody's opinion. Sorry, Asmund. In any case, this is the core of the problem.
Shot. Yeah. So, this is it's all coming to a head. We will see more and more and more enforcement of policies. People are going to look into this shit. People are going to be looking into this shit. It really is insane and horrifying.
Like, how delusional are these motherfuckers? If you're a fascist who is literally responsible for untold numbers of deaths. Huh? He was a political speaker. Not fucking Darth Vader. Like, what are we doing?
And we are rapidly approaching an insane place. 120,000 likes from a post an hour old. Guess he lost the debate. Yeah, he lost the debate. Another one. White man blowing your neck off a day after you was just saying white people don't do stuff like that is hilarious, bro. Rest in shit. Yep, these are the moderate left, as they call it. Incredibly moderate, as they always are. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I hope someone evaporates him literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. Yeah. Well, it's a shame that we're living through these times, man. They couldn't beat him in debate, so they shot him. Fuck. Every single one of these tweets is just hitting me in the gut. Every single one. Charlie Kirk was a warrior who fought daily on the front lines against evil and lies that are taking over the minds of the people across the country. Charlie died in a battle and should be honored. May God bring comfort to his family. Rip Charlie. True. Completely true. Yeah, that Trump tweet. I'm telling you, when I saw that, it was a gut punch. I don't know what happens next, but it's not good. Charlie Kirk assassinated. Fuck. Dude really spent his entire life fighting for our country and his family. Shoeonhead says, praying for Charlie Kirk and his family. Charlie was one of the more moderate right-wing voices out there, but it doesn't matter. They're celebrating. They see you all as the same level. You're all Nazis, and you all deserve it. Even having opinions libs had 20 years ago. These people are sick. Moderate, says this guy, with a tweet of Charlie Kirk saying that Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. So Shoeonhead says, this is what someone's dad posts on Facebook in 2017. You guys cannot be serious. This is shot in the head worthy? Yeah. This is why you killed him? You killed him because he made a tweet that you don't like? Are you retarded? Are you insane? He's literally a moderate, by the way. People don't realize he literally is a moderate. It's absolutely fucking insane. Anyway, so this was on the news. So as you remember, this instance happened. And let's see the way it was covered by CNN. All right.
Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible, but it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him. What people mention is the horror of what happened to this young woman.
So CNN directly says when a horrifying situation happens, when this white girl gets killed by a black guy that, by the way, was saying, I killed that white girl, right? He was so proud of himself, I killed that white girl. He said it on recording. Immediately, CNN decides to take it to the place of no one made it a race issue. No one made it a race issue except for Charlie Kirk. No one else, right? So this guy goes on. Charlie Kirk's a white supremacist, according to CNN. Van Jones. Charlie Kirk, of course, responds, and he's like, "So Charlie Kirk."
Or what happened to this young?
I'm sorry, I gotta watch that again.
Absolutely fucking insane. Anyway, so this was on the news. So as you remember, this instance happened, and let's see the way it was covered by CNN. All right.
Hurt people hurt people. What happened was horrible, but it becomes an opportunity for people to jump on bandwagons. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him. What people mention is the horror.
How just horribly disingenuous is this statement? What are we doing? Nobody else painted it out as a race thing. Only Charlie Kirk painted the fucking. This is just ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. Every time he pulls up these clips from like mainstream media sources, it just reminds me why the fuck I have not been on any of them, and like I don't pay any like. I stayed away from mainstream media sources for quite some time now because I just know it's all just BS. I stopped watching the news actually when I was in the military. When I was deployed overseas, it really put a fine point on just how far what was being displayed on the news stations and what was actually happening out my window was. So this was like when I was, I was a young elf at that point, and I didn't know any better. But so like when I saw this shit firsthand, it was really eye opening. And it took really being like, when I was deployed and I was overseas, it took being there and seeing how the mainstream media sources were painting the situation overseas. What things they would talk about, what things they wouldn't talk about, how they would, present things. It was eye-opening. And that's when I lost all faith in mainstream media. And I started trying to exclusively, find other sources for information. It's only now that, like, since clips of the CNN and MSNBCs and all these are dropped into X and other social medias, in reference to conversations, that I do end up watching them again now. But it's ridiculous, because and the only time we end up watching it is when it's somebody has said something so fucking like obnoxiously silly that we just have to stop and really call them out on this nonsense. So like I've had a pretty jaded view of like mainstream media sources for a long time now. I've always been disappointed with their presentation of the news and things like that. Like never covering any of the humanitarian efforts or any of the things that we were doing over there, building schools and stuff. That and only just showing trucks getting blown up by IEDs and things like that. It sucked. It was really frustrating. But it was enlightening. They show the things that people want to see, or that push their agenda, and that's showing us building a school or something to that effect. Wouldn't show their agenda, and it's always been frustrating and just disappointing that the mainstream media have taken up very polar political agendas, and that's basically all they're about anymore, instead of just the distribution of information and news to the people.
Or what happened to this young woman?
So CNN directly says when a horrifying situation happens, when this white girl gets killed by a black guy that, by the way, was saying, I killed a white girl,
Right.
Issue. No one made it a race issue. Except for Charlie Kirk.
It's absolutely insane that he accused Charlie Kirk of being the only person that made it a race issue.
No one else, right? So this guy goes on. Charlie Kirk's a white supremacist, according to.
It's crazy to me that it's like they don't it's like they say these things and they don't understand the meanings of the words that they're saying, right? When you accuse somebody, or when you single somebody out for, how can you say something like that with a straight face? Like, how can you say something like that and believe in it, when it's just so disingenuous? Obviously only one person didn't paint this out to be a race thing. So it's absolutely insane that he would say that.
CNN's Van Jones. Charlie Kirk, of course, responds, and he's like, "What? You're lying
Van Jones
about me."
was talking about me, and there's so many lies involved in what he said here. First of all, I never said the first element of what he said. I did say the second part, but this is a very important thing to focus on. So Van Jones is saying I should be ashamed of myself, and just a reminder, the murder of Irina Zarutska. Did you know that the attacker said, quote, "I got that white girl"? The attacker racialized this, just for the record. Now, mind you, do you notice that the media all of a sudden tries to play the moral high ground when we start to try to make them live up to the standard that they created and the construct that they forced and the paradigm that they constituted under George Floyd? The moment that we make them have to live up to their own standard, they start to cry foul.
And it's like, most people believed that this was a race thing. It's not like he's saying anything that's like not common knowledge too. It's just very publicly, like.
Soon as we start to make them live up to the George Floyd standard, oh, what is Charlie Kirk racializing this? And by the way, Van Jones also has a major lie embedded into this whole thing. Listen carefully. Race hustler, Marxist, Van Jones. By the way, Van, you're welcome on my program. I'll treat you well. I will give you an uninterrupted opening statement.
I'm sure he
Van
will.
Jones, if you want to go talk about...
I'm sure he would have. Because he would have these conversations with anybody. Dude, he would have these conversations with literally anybody. Of course he would. Obviously he would have these conversations with anybody. That's just what he did. What a nightmare, man. What an absolute nightmare. So, anyway, obviously, it's a true horrifying tragedy in every possible way. And so this guy calls him a racist and basically says that you racialized it. Charlie Kirk proves that he's a liar and then invites him to his show for a conversation. Oh my God, I'm so hurt right now. I can only imagine what's going through here, what's going through the minds of his family, his poor kids. September 2025 is when everything changed. No lies detected. Yeah, this is a turning point for USA. I think Charlie Kirk really was a hero. He really was. He fought for America. He had civil conversations. He would give the floor to anybody, and they killed him for it just because he was a famous right-wing guy, and that was it. That was literally it. There was no other reason. It's because all people on the right are Nazis, and because the terrorist organization known as the far left is violent and evil. He lived and he changed the world, and he changed America. He changed me. Okay?
All the people that are calling, that are cheering for Charlie's death are just absolutely. They need to be duped. Any platforms they have just need to be removed. If you're advocating for death on your platform, you need to lose your platform.
Everyone is on top of this. In Congress, they tried to do a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk when he was shot.
I dropped my anxiety vape.
Right? Everyone knew Charlie Kirk. He was he was massive. And can't even believe it.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise?
Right, so, everybody rise because let's have a moment of silence. Moment of prayer. And they protest.
Let's, wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
And they protested. They protested. They refused to let them have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. What are we even doing? This is evil, right? Like, how is this anything but evil? So as it stands right now, over the course,
it's just so fucking petty.
The last few minutes,
It's so petty and childish. That's the recurring theme that I see in shit like that.
And they are
to me, it just seems
obviously trying to
childish.
push this to get the death penalty, obviously. And the scariest part is when you actually
Like, even if you don't agree with the motherfucker, if somebody says ask for a moment of silence for somebody dying. You give them the moment of silence, right? Even if it's for somebody that you don't agree with, it's just a human being thing.
look at
They didn't even get to the people who were blaming the Jews. Oh shit! That's my favorite part, man. Well, I guess we'll have to blame the Jews tomorrow's guy. I'll have to do all that tomorrow's. Yep. Alright guys, this was a great video from Nux. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe his video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
At the core of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They always have been. They can't debate. They can't have conversation. So they'll resort to these tactics. They're going to do everything they possibly can to try to murder this movement because they can't beat us. So they're going to try to take weapons. And no, we're very aware of that. I'm aware of it. We have full-time security. This is not a joke. This is who these people are.
To my great
Fucking sucks, man. Alright, I'll see you guys.